All right. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? I didn't see your message because I didn't set all this up beforehand. So I'm doing it right now. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me? What did happen here? Display capture. Yeah, I'm good. I think I could say that. What? No, where's the more? I already did this. I have to do it again? Oh, it's asking me to set up a bunch of stuff here. Actually, you know what? I'll go with this one. This one. Down, 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 down. Link. No. What? Just. Just. Damn. There you go. Add. Oh my god. Just gonna close this here. Camera. Yeah, a camera. No worries. Why? Ah. Settings. No, no. That's not it. Oh my god. No. Yeah. It's a camera, but I need to select the right one. Yeah. This one. Exactly that one. This is freaking amazing. Alright. Why is this moved? Why in the world? There you go. Yeah, maybe I should change this a little bit. Maybe. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yeah, just because. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, let's see. I have 5 pages to go on the sketchbook. I believe. Just put this here. I wish some of this stuff would be automatic, but I don't think there's an option for that. Like, as far as I look through, at least for the free softwares that you can use, seems you as if you have to do it by hand. Meaning setting up the chats and so on. Probably there's some people that do it in another way. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. So, if you saw my last stream, I worked on this little fellow right here. Having a strong case of imposter syndrome right now. It's not imposter syndrome exactly. It's like upsetness of sorts. I don't know how to pinpoint it. Yeah. Pursuing art is defiant endeavor for sure. Just gotta put something here so I can stay there. Does it stay? Eh! Oh, I found a use for this that I wasn't expecting. There you go. That holds the page. I like that. That's nice. Quick and easy. And just scrolling through to see if I can find the last few sketches that people suggested. Where are you? Where are you? This is its own challenge. Oh, I don't know if I want to do this one. So this person is requesting by Twisty Tempest is requesting a Dumbo octopus. Let's see if I can find an image of that. Huh. Hello. Let's see if I can find that. Wonder why people keep asking for that. It's kind of weird for me. Can this hold? Maybe it can. Dun, 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 dun. Dumbo octopus. And that's the one that appears on impasta syndrome is how I say it to myself. So that's funny. I don't know. It's just um, I had a bit of a moment earlier with that. It's uh, we live in a society that the value structure is on production in a way. I don't know if production output, like, oh, the output is the value. Sometimes, like, there's certainly an amount of people that values sorry, creative pursuits. And I know, like, this is like super random and not very artistic. Is like a uh, I don't know if that's what I was gonna get to, but um, being productive. You have to be productive. You have to be productive all the time. At all times, you have to be productive. If you're not productive, then you're not worthy, or you don't, you lack worth in some way. And it's it's absurd. Creativity doesn't work like that. It doesn't. It just doesn't. So it's it's trying to fit a square in a circle, basically. Yeah. There's some people that are able to just go for it, and they don't have a problem with that, or they're able to. Well, this is kind of growing on me. Dumbo octopus. It's a funny little fellow. Uh, I can make something cool out of this. um, so I lost my train of thought. Like, you have to be productive, or you're quote unquote not being, you're not worthy. I guess so. I guess so. It's it's a whole cluster F. Um, what I mean is, I'm not. I wouldn't say I don't condone, like, people getting money for nothing. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this. There's, I think there are certain countries where, and I have to look more into this, but the arts have this sort of place in society where you get in Europe happens this sort of thing, that you have this residency, and as far as I understand it, is basically they give you money and stay and a place to work, and and they give you a place to work and so on and so forth, uh, for you to create art. So your main job during that residency is creating work. That's your main focus. That's your worry, what you have to live and breathe. That's as far as I understand it. I might be getting it wrong, but that's how I've come to understand it. So I don't think I don't think it's that feasible for most people. Like for myself, for example, and a lot of other people, to you have to you have to reconcile two things. You have to be able to pay your living, uh, whatever that may be, from the basics up to whatever you want for you and your life, with the fact that you have to also, in order to actually get somewhere, be good at your craft, which you can argue that there's a lot of people that are half decent and they're super successful in the arts, which brings another whole subject into the matter, and that's kind of what I'm getting to. That there's people that some were born in with a silver spoon in their mouths and uh, provided for and so on and so forth. Uh, I guess for some people they might consider me to be a privilege in a lot of ways, and I understand why people might, like, some people that know me might think that, but the reality is that I'm like a middle class. I'm a middle class person, so whatever I've been able to do has been with the huge effort from from me, and like from my parents firsthand, my grandparents at some point, and and from me. But there I know there's people that they don't have the same worries. That they're What I'm trying to get to is there are levels to this stuff. There's people that they don't have to worry about where the next meal is gonna come from. Like, are you gonna be able to make rent? Are you going to be able to um, uh, yeah, pay your bills and so on and so forth, because they've been set up already from the get-go, and that's not most people. uh, so in a lot of ways seems like the pursuit of art is, it can be really daunting if you don't have a huge amount of resource, or you're you have to like basically fence for yourself a lot, and that's kind of, I think that's part of what I'm struggling with at the moment, and part of why sometimes I get grumpy because yeah, I don't think people know the amount of effort you have to do just to be half decent at this stuff. Uh, I don't know. And to get to a point, which I've made a really long point on this, 22 minutes long. Uh, well, 22 minutes. No. It can feel as if you're spinning your wheels, and there's not there's no guarantees on this. Like as I've mentioned multiple times, I'm not even monetized online, so I do this for the love I've have for it really right now. Uh, it can be really frustrating when you feel that as if all that effort is not getting you anywhere, or there's so many setbacks in so many ways. Anyway, end of my rant. That'd be nice. That's well. If that's the case, I I did something. That that'd be awesome. That would be really awesome. I think that's the best you can hope for a lot of the times. Thank you. Appreciate it. Likewise. Likewise. Just daunting, really. Uh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. I'm not one to stop pursuing what I enjoy. Is it's like I feel the need, as I mentioned the other week, to kind of reassess certain things and maybe shift certain things onto different paths, in a way. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but makes sense in my mind a little bit. That's one of the things. It's there has been a lot of changes in my life uh, in the past few months. So you when those happen, you have to recalibrate and find balance and I guess meaning in certain things. Let's look at this. This is a funny fellow. Dumbo octopus. Yes, life is complicated and there's no getting around it. It's gonna be like that regardless. Now there's a trend going on TikTok at least. There's this song that Matt Berry composed, which I don't know if you know who that is, but it's an actor that he's he's really funny. He's Laszlo in I think he's Laszlo in What We Do in the Shadows, which is a really funny show. At least for me, it's really funny. I enjoy it. It's kind of like The Office, but with vampires. And there's this like I didn't know the dude was a musician as well. So it's been really nice to see that sheer talent basically. Uh, so just I don't know. Start reflecting on things. Let's look at reference, random reference. I didn't even check if this is working. Oh, it is working. Matt Berry. And the character another word I cannot say. Character. Character. Uh, Laszlo. Yeah. There's some really funny clips from that show. Like he's married to a vampire. To um, what's her name? Uh, Laszlo, Gizmo, uh, Nadja. Nadja is the wife's name, which is an awesome character too. I love that show. I'm sad it ended, but I think they ended it at a at the proper moment, uh, because of the style of show. There's I think there's kind of a limit of how much you can stretch the characters, and you have to kind of find that balance. Speaking of balance, uh, yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's I laughed so much with that. There's like I sometimes I feel like on the I think his name is Colin Robinson, if I'm not mistaken. But there's a vampire that he's an energy vampire vampire. Well, you understand. So like he feeds on if somebody's arguing, he can feed on it. If he's like being really boring, like super boring, he feeds on that. So it's there's a lot of situations that are really funny with him because he wrong cup. Oh my god! Because um he doesn't feed the same way as the others. Like he basically dwells uh, between offices. It's really funny. Like, yeah, I just came in one day and just stayed here. I've been here for 20 years, I think. So whenever he gets tired of that, or he feeds enough on an office, he moves on to the next one. It's really funny. It's absurdly funny. So I guess sometimes I feel like I'm I'm as boring as Colin Robinson, even though I don't feed on that on energy. I wish that'd be nice. Get recharged from it. I don't know. That show is so funny. So Laszlo does this. What makes it really funny for me about that character specifically is that he has a way. The actor has a way of emphasizing his speech. So it's like walking with his wife through the park at night, and like dressed in all Victorian vampire attire. They both are with the tall hat and all that. It's like walking by somebody and it's good evening. And the other dude, go back to your country. Well, excuse me? What? What the what the F did you just say? Ah, that's funny. That's a great show. I like sitcoms. Because they're comforting. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen uh, Nathaniel Rateliff. No, I haven't. I'll look that up. I'm gonna make note of that. Just looking it up. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. The name sounds really funny. Maybe I've heard of it. I don't know. But I'm gonna check it out. I like that I like indie music or independent music. A lot of the times I don't find them before they turn mainstream. So that what I'm singing is I think it's "Take My Hand," the name of the song from Matt Berry. I don't know. It's really funny. Uh, feel that when we're younger, we're all idealists, and then you start to get older, and life starts slapping you in the face, left and right, and I think I still stand by my beliefs, but it doesn't make the reality of the world any easier. It just makes you more like George Carlin, if you know what I mean. If you know who that is, which if you're from the US, as you, Stephanie, I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about and why. And film anything. Yeah, he has some really good. He had some really good takes on a bunch of stuff. It's kind of sad that he passed away, but he probably by the time he passed away, he was probably like, okay, I'm done, or something like that. So, uh, as far as I know, he was alcoholic, like heavy alcoholic. I think I could be wrong. I don't want to butcher it. I apologize if I said something that is not accurate. But that's what I remember, and again, I could be wrong. Uh, but he definitely drank. Yeah, and he spoke about it like. Uh, I think there's a thing that like if you're smart to a certain level, smart, you're like there's two choices. Or you start like working in NASA or something like that. Or if you're blue collar, like there's actually a dude that is super 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 smart in the US. It I believe he's the highest IQ register in the world. There might be others, but he's the like right now the by numbers or tests, I believe he's the smartest. He's a farmer. He's just he's a farmer. That's what he does. I was like, what? Yeah, he's a farmer. Like 200 and something IQ, and yeah, he never finished school. He apparently he had a troublesome life. Um, But that, if you go down that rabbit hole, that's really fascinating. The fact that there's some people that have been like really smart and and gifted in certain ways, and if they're not in an environment that nurtures that and embraces it, they struggle. And even when they they're embraced and so on, they struggle because I believe it must be lonely. I've always been curious about how, because I'm gonna speak about this part, which is not comfortable, but uh, I'm pretty sure, as everybody else, I've been called dumb uh, many times in the past, and I know I'm not. I I know I'm not. Uh, so it makes me wonder about the paradigm, how I've talked about this, how we measure intelligence, and how do the extremes connect to each other. What I was saying about George Carlin, he was probably smarter than a bunch of people, and it seems like he wasn't. Often, if you see his comedy, it doesn't seem like he was actually doing any comedy. He was just ranting about things that he noticed. Uh, that was basically the whole thing he was doing, or it seems as he was doing, and I don't know. Like Einstein, he got lost in his work. That was his thing. It was like apparently I don't know, but he was kind of like a rock star during his life. Um, but in his later years, he was really celebrated, and because I don't know, he somehow he was able to show how smart he actually was. He used to work in a patent office somewhere and theorize his things. Apparently bad at math. Imagine that. Einstein being bad at math. I can relate to being bad at math. According to certain people, but I don't think I'm actually bad at math. I think there's a huge gap in my knowledge on the way I was taught how to how to use math. So conclusion to what I'm saying, I think there's a lot of people that are living in this world that feel misunderstood and isolated, or they end up choosing to be isolated after learning certain things about the world, which is really sad, but I get it. I can I still appreciate a bunch of stuff about the world, but I also struggle with the realities of certain things, certain attitudes people take in certain situations. And I'm actually gonna look it up because I don't wanna say that wrong. Um, but I'm going to look this up. I've heard that Einstein said that there's only two things without a limit, or or what was it? So he was saying that the yeah, only two things. So genius and stupidity. I think those were the ones. Um, did Einstein Einstein said that stupidity had no limits? Question mark. Yeah. Well, the saying. Let's see. Well, the saying two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, I'm not sure about the universe, is often attributed to Albert Einstein, is not definitely proven that he said it. However, the quote reflects a common theme on his work, which is the inherent limitlessness of the universe and the potential for human folly. That's really funny. And I know they kept his brain. Albert Einstein's brain is somewhere. This quote does not sound like anything Einstein would have said. He was a brilliant but also kind and softly spoken man. On the other hand, it's not completely impossible. He was a pacifist living in a decidedly non-Pacific century. Yeah, I mean, century? You're reducing it to a century? That's cute. And he might well have said something similar in a moment of frustration with the state of the world. So the earliest version, according to this person, that he could have find was in 1947, Gestalt psychologist Frederick S. Perls. Furthermore, this impatient critic attitude is responsible more than anything else for the excessive stupidity we find in the world, just as such people have no patience to chew up real food, so they do not take sufficient time to chew up mental food. As modern time promote hasty eating to a large extent, it's not surprising to learn that a great astronomer said two things are infinite. Also, there's something to be said. Today we know this statement is not quite correct. Einstein has proved the universe is limited. As modern times promote hasty eating to a large extent, it's not surprising to learn that the great astronomer said two things are infinite, as far as we know, the universe and human stupidity. Today we know that this statement is not quite correct. Einstein has proved the universe is limited. This phrasing suggests strongly that it wasn't Einstein at all, but explicitly a different, an older great astronomer. What we also learn from this quote is that Pearls doesn't understand Einstein's work. Never prove anything about the finite or infinite status of the universe. Yeah, it's a theorist. Then fast forward about a quarter of a century later, that changes his story to explicitly attribute the quote to Einstein, writing the following: "In and out of the so it could have been a lie of a lie. Well, not a lie, like playing telephone. And I say half. uh, I love the internet. So according to this, Einstein said that he never said half of the things I attribute to him on a not so nice uh, way. Still funny. Even if he didn't say it, still stands true. Like, come on. We're ridiculous. We really are. Oh my god. Making stuff up. Make ourselves feel important. We're ridiculous. That's why I like absurd humor. I want to shade this. I don't know. Maybe I'll shade it. Come on, man. There you go. Very interesting creatures. Yeah. Dumbo octopus. Alright, so I already passed the hour mark. I'll be ending the stream. So if you enjoy the stream, or if you this is the first time you see me, this random dude draw something, consider subscribing, hitting that like, hitting that bell, and all that good stuff. It's completely free for you, and it helps me a bunch to continue to pursue this crazy thing that is being an independent artist. So, let me see if I can find my music. Like today, I feel like I want to put the music I use. If I can freaking find it somewhere. Common assets. Not good. Not good. Not good. I go. I go. Yeah. Yeah. Let's gonna go here and. Alright. As I mentioned multiple times, I have my illustrated deck of cards that you can find on my website. I also have a Redbubble shop with merch with my illustrations in them. I also have phone backgrounds on my website that you can purchase. They're super cheap, and yeah, it's a great way to support me. Hopefully, I wasn't able to, but I'm hoping to scan a bunch of these sketches and add them to my Redbubble shop as well. Um, but anyway, I hope to see you next time. I'll be back tomorrow. I might take, well, I'm always off on Friday, so yeah, no, it's okay. So I go live Monday through Thursdays around the same time, 9:30 p.m. Argentina time. If you wanna join the stream, if you wanna see it, or you can watch it later on my YouTube channel. Anyway, until next time, bye.